Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing cannabis again, specifically developments with respect to the new medical cannabis, medical marijuana regime that's being brought into effect here in the kingdom. A recent article from Khawsad English, that's khawsadenglish.com, and that article was written by Wirot Punsuwan, who is a Thai attorney at law, and I want to note that specifically. And this is a very long article. We're going to quote very little from it, but I wanted to make this as a follow-up because we did some videos previously on cannabis in Thailand where we were making some speculations, if you will, with respect to how this was going to actually play out, how it was going to operate as a practical matter. And now that more of the regulatory structure has been firmed up, we've got a better idea of how things are going to be. In a prior video on this channel, I was talking about this subject in the context of like private companies being able to get into this business. It appears to me, at least for the near term, that's probably not likely, and that in fact we're going to see this is going to be more in the context of medical marijuana, medical cannabis. And so, really this whole notion of having, these stores and things like you would, for instance, see in a jurisdiction like Colorado in the United States, that paradigm doesn't so much apply to the Thai system as it's coming into view. And again, we're still dealing with the early stages of this. I urge those who are watching this video, read this article. There's a lot more than what we're discussing in this video. Again, Khawsad English, Weed Laws, Cannabis License, and Foreigners Growing Hemp. Quoting directly, acquiring a license. It's a widely held myth to fathom that the passing of the DMS, that's the Department of Medical Services, training course will instantly certify a doctor to dole out medical marijuana. In fact, the compulsory course is merely one pre-qualification to enable the doctor to apply for a cannabis sale license from the FDA. Only upon receipt of the FDA license will the doctor qualify to dispense marijuana formulas. Once the doctor has obtained a sales license, there is no need for them to obtain the other 4 types of FDA cannabis licenses: manufacturing, import, export, and possession. And it notes in here, manufacturing is for factories, imports for companies or government agencies, exports for companies and government agencies, possession is for researchers. Quoting further, patients do not need a possession license as they will be given cannabis medication by doctors and pharmacists who received cannabis sales licenses from the FDA. Now, I'm curious how that is going to work as a practical matter. Just to make a comment here, because I would presume then that cannabis and cannabis products that are prescribed in a medical capacity would have the prescription attached to them. For example, when you have prescription drugs for an ailment of any kind, there's usually a label, the prescribing doctor, and directions for use. I guess I would presume that the cannabis or the cannabis products would have that same kind of labeling that would show that it was issued in a valid manner. Difficult to speculate on that as we haven't seen it yet. It's my understanding in, for example, California, which utilizes a medical marijuana regime, patients have to actually have a card that shows that they have gone through the prescription process, the diagnosis process from a doctor, and are receiving treatment for medical marijuana, and that card shows all that. Apparently that's not going to be part and parcel of this system. It's simply going to be, I would presume, labeled on the cannabis that is given out by the doctor or pharmacist in question. Quoting further, practitioners trained in DMS cannabis cannot apply for FDA marijuana sales licenses yet. The holdup is a lack of implementing FDA ordinance to announce a lawful list of cannabis medicines, which should be issued in a month or 2. So again, a very interesting article. Again, Weed Laws, Cannabis License, and Foreigners Growing Hemp. I urge those to read that article in full because it's got a lot more nuance than what I've just quoted. But my analysis of this, for those who are watching, I think we're going to see this rolled out fairly soon. For those who think that this is going to be some great license to smoke a lot of marijuana, I'm not certain that's what's going to happen here. Clearly, the FDA is serious about rolling out regulations on this. Another major issue with respect to this is there's not going to be a huge number of doctors who are going to actually have this licensing. As this attorney noted in this article, there have only been a few classes for the qualification thus far. Not everyone who took the classes passed the exams, and the classes filled up quite quickly, and there's not in the future going to be a great number of these. So the doctors who are going to have the authority to dispense medicinal cannabis, medicinal marijuana, remain to be seen. None of them have licenses yet, but I think that once the licenses are in fact issued, we're going to see a relatively small number of those folks who can actually dispense marijuana and cannabis medications.